chip that they already got in all your passports, they done put that thing in all the new passports.
I don't know that much about that information. I know that they're doing everything they can.
From what I understand, it's already in all the passports for the last, big part of the last year.
Well, I do know that some states actually started putting chips in driver's license and didn't even tell anybody.
Right.
Okay. Folks, we're really hurting. And anyway, let's start the movement now. It's called the New Political Correctness. Do not apologize for who you are. I am proud to be in this room because you guys are Americans. And you got to be proud of it. And you got to start shutting these people down. The old adage, don't mix business and with politics and religion. I'm sorry, folks, but I can't do that anymore. If I know that somebody is willing to pass a law that basically says, if you don't do it the way I tell you to do it, you're going to jail, that is a threat to my life, it's a threat to my family, and I do not need to be doing business with those people. Because you are just pursuing it further. You're just allowing them to continue to go. You have to start standing up and telling them, you're an American and you're not tolerating this anymore. Our government has fairly well been infiltrated by people of Marxist-Leninist thinking. This goes back, almost a century, folks. I think it was... who was it, Louis McFadden back in the 30s? He came out in Congress and was telling people about this. There was another gentleman in the 40s that found out that they were taking out the true history of the United States out of our textbooks. And this was back in the 40s. This has been going on a long time. We got a long haul. We got a hard job ahead of us, and we're all going to have to get involved. Somebody said earlier that don't treat Ron Paul, don't turn him into a god. Well, you're exactly right. But we all have to become Ron Paul.
That's right.
Personally, I despise politics. And from what I've seen, Ron Paul, his own party is against him. And it's full of corruption. And the corruption is at every level of our government. Executive, legislative, judiciary, federal, and state. The central banks go all the way back to our beginning, folks. I think the first one was the first bank in North America. That lasted about 4 years. Fractional reserve banking, they put it right into place. Guess what? It went broke 4 years later. Our second central bank was the first bank of the United States. That was actually formed by a bunch of European bankers. Go ahead. If you want to bring that up, that'd be great. While I'm finishing up here. Anyhow, some historians believe this, and I actually lean toward these historians. But when they formed the first Bank of the United States, the Congress gave them a 20-year charter. And when Congress decided that they weren't going to renew the charter, one Nathan Rothschild was known to have said that if they do not renew this charter, there's going to be hell to pay. And a lot of historians believe that that is the reason why the War of 1812 occurred. Okay, the elite bankers of this world will forever come after the lesser man. That's why our founders told us that liberty requires eternal vigilance, folks, because they won't quit. These people are sick in their minds, they're greedy, you know, they've got everything in the world and they want more. You know, so it's up to us to stop it. I'll read this to you since this gentleman had this. The Federal Reserve embezzlers, felons, traitors. On January 13, 1932, Congressman Louis T. McFadden, chairman of the House Banking and Currency Committee, introduced a resolution indicting the Federal Reserve Board of Governors. The resolution preamble read, "Whereas I charge them jointly and severally with the crime of having treasonably conspired and acted against the peace and security of the United States and having treasonably conspired to destroy constitutional government in the United States." McFadden had good cause to level such charges. Section 19 of the Coinage Act states, "If any of the said officers or persons shall embezzle any of the metals, every such officer or person who shall commit any or either of the said offenses shall be deemed guilty of felony and shall suffer death." You know, back in the 1790s, folks, thanks so much for that. Back in the 1790s, folks, if you tried to coin anything with gold or silver as money, they'd hang you. Okay? Where has treason gone in this country? You know, we have to start standing up to these people. And folks, I'm telling you, we are at war. This is a revolution. We are at war for the minds of the American people. There's two things that we need to be doing right now, besides trying to get Ron Paul elected. We need statesmen to run for office, all the way down to your local sheriff, city council. If these people do not believe in the Constitution, it is our duty to run against them and take the power away from them, folks. Up pretty quickly here, but there's another thing that I'm currently working on. This is kind of my new brainchild, like I've got enough to do. I've started a project, it's called the Micro Project. I think by now everybody that's a Ron Paul supporter at least knows and has seen firsthand the downright control and propaganda of our media. Okay? It's not going to change, folks. We're going to have to take this into our own hands. So the Micro Project is micro broadcasting. It's low power FM broadcasting. I can't listen to the Power Hour, and I want to. I'm in Springfield, Missouri. Where are you located for sales? I can't get it. Okay. I was sitting there listening to Republic Broadcasting on the internet at lunch the other day. And it was a great program going on, and I had to go back to work. And I was so upset that I could not get in my car and listen to that program. But I know that the mainstream media will not put those programs on. So we're going to take it upon ourselves, and we're going to set up our own network all over the country. Okay? We're going to set up micro broadcast stations. And I can tell you right now, folks, we're not going to ask permission from the FCC. You know, some people might get hurt. You know what? I'm sorry, folks, but we're at war. We're going to have to take some risks.
How are you going to keep the FCC from shutting you down?
I have the answer for that one.
We don't need to go into that here, do we?
No, it's a perfectly legal
Yes,
answer
it
to
is.
that. Title 47.